Hey everybody, David here, and today I want to talk about Pixar. If you're somebody that is wondering how many Pixar movies out there, with Luca coming out this weekend on Disney Plus, how many movies has Pixar made in total? And I'm going to tell you, it's almost as much as the MCU, the Marvel Cinematic Universe, which I haven't done a video for, but I will one day. But right now, I wanted to do Pixar. I did a Disney video, all the Disney animated feature animated movies that Disney has done throughout the years that they have done under their Walt Disney Animation banner. This is going to be for Pixar Animation. So let's get right into it. We are not going to do a review for any of these. We're just doing a countdown. I might give you a little bit of trivia, maybe a little bit of my opinion, and that's about it. So it's a very simple video. Let's get right into it now. Starting with 1995, the very first computer animated movie ever. Not only the first Pixar movie, the first computer animated movie ever, Toy Story, back in 1995. That's right, starring the voices of Tom Hanks and Tim Allen. In 1998, which would be, 3 years later, A Bug's Life would come out in 1998. After that, Pixar would return to the world of Toy Story in 1999 with Toy Story 2. Not only the first sequel, but this movie actually almost went direct to video. At the time, Disney was doing a lot of direct to video animated movies, and they almost put this one direct to video also until John Lasseter stepped in and said, we're going to do this movie. You guys aren't going to touch it. We're going to do it. And then after the Walt Disney executives saw the film, they said, oh, wow, this is actually pretty good. We got to put this in theaters. And they did. And Pixar showed them that day that we don't make cheap animation. We make good, entertaining animation for everybody to enjoy and where it should be seen, which is the theaters. Then in 2001, they go and do Monsters, Inc. After that, in 2003, we get Finding Nemo, which was Pixar's biggest hit for the longest time. After that, The Incredibles came out in 2004, which was the first film that Brad Bird directed. After that, in 2006, we get Cars. The interesting thing about Cars is that Cars was almost Pixar's final film with Walt Disney Studios. The reason it was originally supposed to come out in 2005, but the reason it came out in 2006 was because they pushed it back to see what the board of directors were going to do with Michael Eisner. Eventually, Michael Eisner was kicked out because the people at Pixar didn't like Michael Eisner. Eventually, Eisner was kicked out and replaced by Bob Iger, who was the one who made the deal to purchase Pixar and bring it into the Disney family. One of the smartest, biggest decisions that Bob Iger would do going forward with the company. In 2007, Ratatouille came out and was the second film directed by Brad Bird, who would obviously go on to direct live action films as well, such as Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol and Tomorrowland, which was also for the Walt Disney Company. In 2008, we got Wall-E. In 2009, we got the movie Up, which was Pixar's first animated film to not only get Best Animated. It wasn't their first animated film to get Best Animated Picture at the Oscars, but it was the second animated film in history to get the Best Picture nomination. Not a lot of films were nominated for Best Picture at the Academy Awards, but Up was the second one, the first one being 1991's Beauty and the Beast from Walt Disney Animation Studios. After that, in 2010, we got Toy Story 3, which would be the third animated film to get Best Picture nomination at the Academy Awards. So it was kind of cool back to back getting these two Best Picture noms, and in my opinion, the best of the Toy Story franchise, and maybe even the best Pixar movie of all time, in my opinion. After that, in 2011, we get Cars 2. In 2012, we get Brave. In 2013, a movie that I actually prefer a little bit more than the original, maybe, which is a little sacrilegious to say, Monsters University. After that, in 2015, we get a double dose of Pixar, starting with Inside Out, which is a terrific film, and my least favorite Pixar film, The Good Dinosaur, also coming out in 2015. In 2016, a movie that I might put a little edge over the original, Finding Dory. That's right, I love Finding Dory. In 2017, we get another double dose of Pixar with Cars 3 coming earlier in the year, and then Coco coming out later in that year, which is a terrific film. In 2018, we get the long-awaited sequel to The Incredibles, Incredibles 2, once again directed by Brad Bird, which would be his third film for Pixar Animation. After that, we get a sequel in 2019 to a movie that people didn't want a sequel because they were worried that it was going to ruin the franchise, but it turned out to be such a great film, Toy Story 4. In 2020, we once again, for the third time, get a double dose of Pixar in 1 year. Onward, which came out early in the year, but maybe not so great timing because that is when the pandemic hit. And unfortunately, Onward didn't do so great in theaters. But it still was received pretty well by fans of Pixar. And yeah, it's a pretty good film. And then at the end of the year, unfortunately, didn't get the love in theaters because of the pandemic, ruining things for everybody. But Soul came out to Disney Plus at the end of 2020. But on the bright side of things, it did win Best Animated Feature at the Academy Awards. So that's an upside, I guess. And finally, in 2021, we are getting Pixar's newest film, Luca, which leads us to getting 24 Pixar films. That's right, there's 24 Pixar films in total. And I believe that's tied with the MCU. I believe Black Widow will be the MCU's 24th film. So Pixar, and funny enough, Pixar started long time ago, way before the MCU was even a thing. So I find it interesting that Marvel cranked out all these great films also on their own right and managed to catch up with. But I guess animation takes longer to produce than live action films do. They take years, sometimes 3-4 years to make. So, but for what it's worth, I think Pixar has a lot of great quality films on their list. There's some downers here and there, but for the most part, they are definitely still, in my opinion, one of the best animated studios out there. I have loved almost all of their films, maybe one or two that are like I said, The Good Dinosaur definitely at the bottom. I don't hate it though; it has its moments. But yes, 24 films. That's great since 1995. Wow, man! So over 20 years. Reaching 25 or reaching 30 soon. Wow. So with that being said, guys, tell me, are there any of these movies that you have seen? I've seen all of these movies. In theaters, the first movie I saw in theaters was Toy Story 2. I missed out on seeing Toy Story and A Bug's Life in theaters, but Toy Story 2 and Onward after that, not the movie, I have seen every film that Pixar has produced in theaters. So yeah, and with that being said, guys, I want to plug in my Patreon and thank my Patreon supporters for supporting this channel. It's something I do at the end of all my videos because these are the people that are supporting my channel by going to patreon.com/David Jordeo, where they pay a monthly subscription fee. What do you get? You get a thank you at the end of this of every video that I do, as long as you are a member on this channel. And there are two tiers. There's a $5 and a $10 tier. I have 3 Patreon supporters right now. They both offer the same thing. It's nothing different. I just put the $10 one just in case anybody can be a little bit more generous if they can. I know it's not easy for everybody, so I'm not expecting a lot of people to pitch in if they can't. It's just for anybody that wants to help out and hopefully help this channel grow, because I want this channel to grow. I want to get better and I want to improve on things. I want to leave where I'm at, and I want to focus more on this channel if I can and get videos out there faster. Having two jobs, you gotta focus on one a little bit more than the other. This one is more of a pastime for me right now, but I want to make it a full-time thing if I can. But that can only happen is if this channel, you guys pass around the videos, show other people, say, hey, listen to this guy. This guy makes pretty good content. Like every video that you see, watch every video that you see, and stuff like that supports me. But the Patreon page helps me even more, because I can hopefully, if I get enough subscribers, eventually I can make a living out of this, which is what I would love to do. So but not everybody is always lucky, but every little bit helps, and that's the way I look at it. So even if I have 3 supporters, at least it shows me that there's some people out there that really like and respect what I'm doing, and they believe in me, and I really thank you guys. So thank you very much. With that being said, I hope you guys can like this video like I said, and if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe now. That always helps. And with that being said, until next time, take care.